Welcome, everyone. Grab a seat, settle in. Welcome to Seminar 401. So, as final year technology students, you're about to step out into an industry that is, frankly, in a massive state of contradiction. In today's explainer, we're going to unpack the 2026 AI landscape, which is presenting us with a really profound paradox. On one hand, we're witnessing absolute scientific miracles happening at breakneck speed. But on the exact same token, we're looking at this underlying economic fragility that has market analysts literally holding their breath. Look, this isn't just theory anymore, guys. This is the reality of the market you are about to inherit.
So, here's our syllabus for today's explainer. We'll start with the great AI paradox, then examine discovery versus revenue challenges, look into the infrastructure investment risk, explore shifting intent in advertising, and finally finish up with tangible workflow ROI.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1, the great AI paradox.
Okay, so AI is actively solving these absolutely massive, previously insurmountable scientific problems. But simultaneously, and almost ironically, it's creating massive financial ones. To really understand the scientific triumphs, we actually need to start in deep space. Recently, researchers at the University of Warwick deployed an AI system named Raven to scan data from NASA's TESS mission. And Raven processed this astronomical data at speeds that human analysts simply cannot match. I mean, it's not just accelerating our process, it is fundamentally rewriting our understanding of the cosmos at a superhuman velocity.
Section 2, discovery versus revenue challenges. Just look at the sheer scale of what Raven pulled off here. It confirmed over 100 exoplanets. Specifically, 118 planets were validated right out of the data, and 31 of those entirely brand new discoveries. But the real scientific gold is what it's actually finding. It's identifying these things called ultra-short period planets, basically worlds that orbit their star in less than a single day. That is extreme. Furthermore, the AI is finding planets in the Neptunian desert. These are regions of space where scientists previously believed planets barely even existed. AI is literally finding worlds where we thought there was nothing but empty space. Amazing, right?
But guys, here is the grounding analogy I really want you to keep in the back of your mind throughout this explainer. Think of modern AI as a superpowered telescope, capable of finding galactic needles in a cosmic haystack in mere seconds. It's a miraculous tool. But back on Earth, the owners of that telescope are sitting in the dark, scratching their heads, struggling to figure out how to pay the massive electric bill required to keep the thing running.
And boom, that brings us crashing back down to Earth. The pure science is absolutely thriving, right? Over 100 new worlds discovered. But the commercial reality is a completely different story. Recent reports are indicating that OpenAI, literally the poster child of this boom, missed its internal targets for both user growth and revenue. This is a massive reality check, and it's raising eyebrows across the whole tech world because it perfectly exposes the friction between building something scientifically profound and building something commercially viable.
Moving on to Section 3, the infrastructure investment risk. As future tech leaders, you've got to grasp the macroeconomic scale of the infrastructure bubble that's currently inflating around this technology. 1,500. Take a second to let that sink in. That is the number of new data centers currently planned in the United States alone just to support this AI boom. Let's actually break down the economics here. Over on the supply side, we have this explosive infrastructure built. Like we just said, 1,500 new US data centers planned. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars being poured into concrete, steel, and endless compute capacity scaling. But then look at the demand side, the actual market reality. We're seeing missed internal growth targets, highly questionable mainstream consumer adoption, and serious internal concerns. The fundamental economic question you have to ask yourselves today is, can demand actually keep up with this monumental supply? Because if it can't, we aren't just looking at a slight slowdown, we are looking at the conditions for a full-blown AI market correction.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the severity of the internal warnings. When the CFO of OpenAI is reportedly flagging risks around funding future compute contracts if growth doesn't accelerate, you need to pay attention. Compute is the absolute lifeblood of AI. If the company leading the charge is worried about paying for future compute simply because user growth is stalling, well, that's the clearest indicator yet of the electric bill problem we discussed earlier.
All right, Section 4, shifting intent in advertising.
So, if the giant foundational models are sweating over consumer revenue, where is AI actually making money today?
while Google has been quietly changing the fundamental mechanics of online shopping by expanding their AI Max framework. And this is powered by something called final URL expansion. By definition, this is an AI framework that completely bypasses a traditional homepage. Instead, it automatically chooses the best landing page, generates custom ad copy highlighting relevant features, and matches it directly to a user's underlying search intent. So instead of a user typing in the exact clunky keyword blue jacket, they might type a conversational phrase like durable jacket for rainy hikes. The AI understands the context and does the matchmaking instantly. To simplify this shift, think of traditional keyword matching as a vending machine. You press B4, you get exactly the bag of chips in slot B4, right? But AI intent targeting acts way more like a personal shopper. It actually understands the why behind your request and brings you options tailored to your specific needs, even if you didn't know the exact brand or keyword to ask for in the first place. It is a massive leap from rigid keyword targeting to fluid, conversational understanding.
And this brilliantly illustrates why business strategy has to pivot, like immediately. Because AI is now the gatekeeper deciding which deep subpage of a website best matches the user's intent, your website structure, your granular product descriptions, and your overarching content strategy just became absolutely critical. For those of you going into digital infrastructure or marketing tech, listen up. This is where the commercial battles are actually being won right now.
Section 5. Tangible Workflow ROI. Okay, we've talked about deep space and we've talked about digital ads. Now let's look at the physical, everyday world. Specifically, a rapid rise in the use of AI scribes in medical clinics across the country. The workflow is elegantly simple but profoundly impactful. Step 1, the AI securely listens to the natural doctor-patient conversation. Step 2, it transcribes that conversation in real time. And step 3, it automatically generates the required clinical notes for the medical record. It completely removes the need for doctors to be manually typing during the consultation, and more importantly, it eliminates the dreaded late-night paperwork. Which brings us to this highly celebrated metric right here, 36%. Data shows that implementing these AI scribes results in a 36% reduction in what the medical industry calls pajama time. And for those who don't know, pajama time is that grueling after-hours administrative work that doctors are basically forced to take home and do on their laptops at night. This is a textbook example of a successful technology deployment. Burnout in healthcare is a systemic crisis, right? Well, this AI application offers an immediate, highly measurable use case. It actively improves the quality of life for medical professionals. It gives doctors their invaluable time back so they can actually look at their patients instead of staring at a screen. And crucially, this is the big one, it does not attempt to replace human expertise. It simply augments the human by removing the administrative friction. This is exactly where AI's commercial value is absolute and unquestionable. So, class, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a thesis question to ponder as you get ready to enter this crazy industry. You are looking at a landscape with staggering scientific breakthroughs, systems literally rewriting the cosmos on one side. But on the other side, you've got a fragile infrastructure bubble driven by massive costs and lagging consumer adoption. So as the next generation of technologists, strategists, and engineers, how will you navigate the AI paradox of 2026? Are you going to build the telescope, or are you going to figure out how to pay the electric bill? Think deeply about where you want to position yourselves. Thank you all for joining this masterclass, and I really look forward to seeing how you all shape the future. Have a great day.